Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are now recording. We are live and we are back.
We're back.
There was so much on this podcast.
Yeah, her personality is just so beautiful. She's such a warm-hearted, conscious person.
And one thing that stood out for me was when she talked about how motherhood had changed her and taught her compassion, empathy, and patience. It's the same becoming a father. I learned more about myself than I'd ever even known. Having this little man changed my world. And the fact that his favorite color is green.
Oh, that works, Zachary. That works.
Yeah. The chakra of the heart. I'm like, wow, this is so cool.
Plus, I'm wearing green glasses right now.
You look through those. I love that. You look with your heart, like in The Little Prince.
Of course, when they talked about the
gray.
clothing, we thought of Charlotte.
The vintage clothing.
Yeah.
I'm a walking, talking fashion faux pas. Nothing matches. Who knows what you're gonna see?
I like how she was saying she kind of gets the same sense that like the actors do. She reads the script and she kind of gets a sense of them and like creates a color palette for them. I noticed mood changes and things like that, different colors and stuff like that, but I never really thought about it like, oh, that character has their own color palette.
I think there's an intuition to color where you built that mood board inside your head, where you're like putting together a certain aesthetic. And anytime I do that, my mind is just buzzing with ideas. It's such a good place to start creatively.
That's a good idea. I don't do anything like that. With me being such a hands-on person,
Yeah.
I think that would be good.
Reminds me of the 1970s where the hot item was the mood ring.
Right. Oh my God. And I always had cold hands, so it didn't work on me. I loved when she said that she really goes into the details, so she has nothing to hide. Like that's great work ethic, not only in costume, but in probably mostly creative things, but even doing that.
I think it also tells like a lot of the story too. Like everybody has their own reasons for what we wear, what we carry around with us. And she really works that in also.
Also interesting that they have to have 6 to 10 of every costume.
And 15 leather jackets for the
And
night.
15
He's getting impaled and shot and whatnot.
This show has a lot of explosions and a lot of stabbing and
Lot of oil
shooting.
and blood.
It has to be in a certain condition.
I mean, just look at 612, the way that the yellow cardigan is that Grace wears. Like in the dream, it's all like yellow and nice, and then it zooms back to her unconscious, and it's like burned and broken on the shoulder.
And yellow is such a perfect color for Karen too.
Yeah, I like that they used yellow for her in that because it's this confidence and inner power color, and I feel like that really matches up with Mama Bear Grace, as Karen said.
It's what she needed in that time.
And what she found, I think, also.
Yeah.
I love that she said it was a team collaboration, so they're all painting on the same canvas.
Yes, that was awesome.
You can do so many things on your own, but for me personally, at least, what really drives me is inspiration and collaboration. So for instance, with music, playing with somebody else and seeing what comes out of it, it always elevates it to the next level.
We also got a good laugh when she said the zombies have no fashion.
Yeah. and then we actually find out that it kind of do, because
But yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I like how she said that the characters come alive in the fitting room.
I hear
Yes.
actors say that too. Like when they put their characters' clothes on, that's when they really step into their skin.
That's when they flip the switch, yeah. Something else she talked about that I think I'm going to try is starting the day off writing for 10 minutes just to clear the mind.
The vomit book.
I need to get yesterday off my mind.
Yeah.
It is a good idea, especially if you're going to be working on a project or anything, like get everything out so you can focus.
I actually find it really hard. I could probably practice that.
It does take a bit to get used to, especially like if you want to be productive. It is really hard to write just whatever you're thinking.
I actually enjoy writing because it calms me down, and when I also have a certain feeling towards the day, I can write that as my character, or I can use bits and pieces of the day to fill it in.
I love that.
It's quite fun because there's so much that happens throughout the day that I can just start writing out.
I love when Danay asks, like, how do you nurture your creativity? It's a different answer for everybody. And what you do, I love what she said, what you do in the in-between defines what you do tomorrow.
And she said, curious what's going to find me next, or I know what I'm looking for, will find.
But it's so fun learning about all of these different things on the podcast and in college as well,
Yes.
because it's stuff that you use in everyday life.
Yeah.
I like how it doesn't matter who's on or what they do. It's always really relatable. Even,
Yeah.
you know, I can't sew for nothing, but I still can relate it to my artwork or
Yeah.
even how I dress. Like, you know what I mean?
It doesn't really matter what somebody's doing, like who the guest is, whether you know them or not, and what their exact job or craft is. What they're saying often translates to a much wider perspective.
Something stood out that we always talk about, how
Okay.
important it is to be kind to each other.
Yes.
Yeah, I like the way she phrased it too. Like, what's the most constructive? And then what Danay said, like, there's really no place for hurting each other.
How important it is to engage in healthy conversation.
It made me think of La Familia.
Isn't it interesting though that social media has such a bad rep in terms of healthy conversation, which is true because people just shout ideas and forget that there's people behind the usernames. But it's also how all of us found each other.
I know.
All life is precious. Don't forget it.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought of Morgan.
I know exactly when she said it.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys.